It is a big, ugly, awful, incredible story that people don't know what to do with that, bottom line.
The court abducted my child without any ground. I have the clean record. I am a licensed nurse. I take care of people, make sure my patients get well. I do teaching. I am a good mother. On the other hand, the father have history of violence. He have more than one restraining orders. The court gave him sole custody and placed me on 2 hours supervised visitation, 2 hours per week.
No evidence was presented to change custody. There was no reason for them to change custody. There was nothing presented that would even carry any weight to change the custody. As a parent, the only thing you want to do is protect your children. And this legal system now has put me in a place where I have no power. They put the power in the hands of the psychologist, the kid's attorney, the evaluator, and they're essentially trying to take me completely out of my children's lives.
When a child alleges sexual abuse specifically, but also lately it's become any kind of abuse, domestic violence or child abuse, and a parent asks the family court for protection from the other parent for that child, often the allegations are considered by the court or ancillary professionals in terms of parental alienation syndrome.
Parental alienation is junk science. Parental alienation was a concept invented by some fellow back east, and his theory was that parents could alienate a child from the other parent.
The family courts loved the idea. They didn't realize at first that it wasn't based on any research. And they just thought, oh, this is an easy answer. It explains away these horrible cases that we don't want to have to deal with. Because if we think about whether abuse happened or not, we have to deal with evidence, we have to deal with trauma, we have to deal with horrible ideas, and we have to take a stand and say whether or not it happened.
In 2003, the American Prosecutors Research Institute identified use of PAS as a deliberate means to obstruct prosecution of abuse cases. It's a completely bogus legal defense of child molesters that's being used in family courts across the country.
And it's kind of an idea that has been completely debunked and is laughed at in other contexts, but in family law it holds sway. It's the reigning paradigm.
I went into court with the idea that we were going to bring two sides before a judge and they were going to come up with a reasonable conclusion to whatever, or the issue at hand. And I found out that was 180 degrees from what I was entering into.
If you have a contested custody case in California, you have to go to mediation. You have to go to county mediation and see if you can resolve the issue there. And in some counties, mediation is confidential, and they just try to help you work out your issues and come to a custody agreement. And if you don't, you go fresh to the court. And in other counties, it's called recommending mediation. And there you go meet with the mediators. You try to work out your issues, and if you don't, the mediator can make a recommendation to the judge about what he or she thinks should be the custodial status of each parent.
And the real problem is that mediator ends up deciding your case. And that's not how the system is supposed to work. And so when the mediator decides your case, whoever loses is, quote, disgruntled, and they should be not because of the outcome, but because they never got a trial.
The court mediator failed to follow the local rules and the law. She broke every single rule in the book. She doesn't read the file, she doesn't read the pleading, she doesn't know the history of, my case.
We have mediators in Marin County who flat out lie in their reports and have been caught at it by the appellate court, and the trial courts have been reversed because of it. And they're still working in Marin County, and they're still writing reports, still making recommendations.
The people that I talk to across the United States, they say that each state has its judge, individual rogue judge, or its individual rogue court, or the whole court system is a mess, does not protect children. So it's a national and an international problem.